SsethTzeentach, and this is World of Tanks Review, Balkan Edition trademark by SsethTzeentach. Yeah, didn't do one of these already. I guess the last one or one before that was one of these, right? Yeah. Yeah, definitely was one of these. And it was really surprising how good the game was. That was the World of Tanks, right? I don't know. It's a SsethTzeentach video. What's more there to say? It's gonna be fun, right? He could make a video about anything and it would be just as interesting. He's one of those creators. Right, he doesn't need any gaming video or even a good gaming video. He just needs to do some, I guess, thing about something. So let's watch it.
People, Seth here. Now, you may be asking yourself, do I have deja vu? Or did you not just review another tank sim 2 months ago? Correct. Then I went to their direct competitor and doubled my money. Sign up today using my invite link in the description below, and new players will get 250,000 credits, the Tier 5 Elite Heavy Excelsior tank, and 7 days of World of Tanks Premium.
War Thunder,
Tiger 131, the Cromwell B, and the T-34 85M for 10 battles each. World of Tanks is a fun and immersive game where the primary players are either Vatniks or alcoholics. Despite this, or precisely because of this, it's incredibly successful. In the UK, beatings sharply increase after a football game, dependent on the outcome. If they lose, they get beaten. If they win, they still get beaten, but triumphantly. This game is exactly that, but for Eastern Europe. The game is now 12 years old, so you'd expect it to look pretty dated, but it's had a lot of graphical overhauls, and dare I say, it actually looks really...
Only Seth can get away with this, right? He's the shill that we all of us wanted to be, I guess. He did War Thunder, not War of Tanks, and they are the competitor. To me, it's War Thunder, War of Tanks. I don't know, in my head, all of them are the same. But yeah, clearly they're the competitor. So it's the similar game, I guess. And he didn't even do that video, I guess, a long time ago or something. It was the, one video before, right? What was that? I'm pretty sure it was just 2 videos before or something like that. That's so good.
Really nice. I started playing this around the same time I got into university. Consequently, I failed university and had to repeat the entire year. I think that's a very good endorsement and metaphor for what World of Tanks is. It's like a car crash you can't look away from, except you're the driver, you're drinking, and you're causing all of this to happen. Needless to say, I really like it, and I'm coming from a position of integrity, because whose testimony are you going to listen to? The man who's currently addicted to crack, or the one that recovered? Because let me tell you, if you broke an addiction, how good was it to begin with? Myself, I'm still broken. It's not a personal issue. My crack is just really good. Now, let me tell you about it.
That is some logic right there.
So I made one up in my head. The World of Tanks takes place in the distant future. Everyone ate so much microplastic that we ended up shitting credit cards and pissing QR codes. Eventually, we reached critical mass, and now we are all tanks, fighting over limited resources as we struggle to remember our tragic past. In reality, World of Tanks covers the Gentile uprising of a Second Brother War, and appropriately, you can play tanks from any of the participating nations. This used to be just Germany, the US, the UK, and the USSR, but over time they included France, Czechoslovakia, Japan, China, Poland, Sweden, and I think this is Italy. Sorry, it is genuinely hard to tell sometimes. This is no one's fault but my own, because I choose to use the girls in Panzer UI. So please, bear with me. Gameplay. There's a lot of deep mechanics behind this game, and while there's many official resources to help you learn them, theory...
How do you play Italian tanks versus something like German tanks or something? I don't know. I mean, that's just like, Italian tanks sucked in World War II, right? That's just fucked up.
To practice, because in practice, you and I are inside the same Soviet random number generator. Reason and logic cannot reach you. Your performance is based entirely on esoteric mysticism, belief, and high purity ethanol coursing through your bloodstream. Combat is very simple. You and your teammates face off against an equal number of opposing steel containers. Your objective is to penetrate and kill their human cargo. You do this with your turret, the effect of which is determined by the size, caliber, and type of ammunition you're firing, versus the angle of impact, the thickness of a plate, and the position on the tank model. Basically, it's all about learning the peculiar eccentricities of your current tank against the strengths and weaknesses of your enemy. Unlike War Thunder, which I'm going to compare to often because it's the only market competitor, tanks are not rendered automatically. World of Tanks takes the approach that realistic tank combat is so chaotic.
Yeah, War Thunder is not just about tanks, right? There are planes and shit. I remember the video that, I remember Seth's review about that and how good it was. how realistic it felt, especially the simulation type of flight and everything. Does War of Tank compare with that? Or just War of Tank is just about tanks, you just have fun with it like Counter-Strike or some shit? Is this direct comparison? Is this even similar? I don't know. Well, you know what? One thing I've noticed so far, that his jokes in these videos and certain clips that he's showing is kind of risky. And YouTube kind of recently released the new, I guess, rules or whatever, right? Like first 20 seconds you can't even swear or something. And there's, I don't even know how many, but there are new updates or something. And I guess Seth just went even worse than he was before. Is he like taunting YouTube or something? What is happening?
To physically detect an enemy vehicle through their viewing port and relay that position by radio to the rest of the team. Now, this is done automatically, but effectively, this means that camouflage and being spotted is the difference between an invisible ghost and a painted live target that's visible to the rest of the enemy team. Getting spotted usually means you're about 5 seconds away from getting pounded by every single tank hidden in the brush, and if you somehow survive, 15 seconds away from getting cooked by artillery. In World of Tanks, stealth determines survival. A stationary tank makes no noise. A moving tank does. And a heavy moving tank can be spotted by the exhaust of its engine alone. The only thing more visible than that is gunshots. Because when the local foliage fires a 122mm shell at you, there's not much room for subtlety. Tank commanders are equipped with a sixth sense, so...
Alright, how unrealistic it is though, that artillery accurately attacks you. Artilleries were not supposed to be that accurate, right? I mean, if you get spotted, accuracy shouldn't be that level of it, right? In world wars, artilleries and shit, you can get hit by it, but that's because there were too many artillery shells flying around. So it's bound to hit someone. Not because, oh, I saw it and I'm just going to hit him accurately like that. What is it, John Wick operating artillery? Come on.
And the commander can sense this. A sound will play, alerting you to the fact. Obviously, this is not the standard sound, and yours may be different. So, instead of getting wrecked in the open, a good strategy is to park yourself in the woods and wait for the enemy to come to you. Much like the match queue, the start of each game, and situations like this require some amount of patience. So, in the meantime, I start fishing shrimp until level 3. This is some good XP, so I'm taking full advantage of it. During the making of this video, I have watched the entirety of Girls in Panzer, made a fortune selling pie shells, and at this point, I'm afraid to admit that I've enchanted over 16,000 rings of recoil. The possibility that I have some form of brain parasite is non-zero. There's a wide variety of tanks in this game, and they're not made equal. Light tanks are fast and mobile. They're not made for killing targets, but for spotting them.
That reminds me, man, when I was a kid, I used to play a game called, I don't know, what was it? AA or 3 or something, I don't know, some online game. The first and only online game I ever played because some of my friends were playing it. TTA 3. I don't even know what the fucking name was. I don't know what the game was. It was, I guess, in 2008 or something. I don't even remember. I remember just sitting there and just doing stupid shit for hours. Trying to sell something, ridiculous shit, and sitting there for hours. Just looking back at that right now, yeah, I think I also had some kind of brain parasite at that point. Because it was ridiculous. The level of time waste that we used to do when we were kids is ridiculous.
Valuable to the team, and when piloted correctly, can run circles around the enemy. Medium tanks are self-explanatory. Heavy tanks are even fatter and have a top speed in the low 20s. They're designed for the heat of combat, not maneuverability. With armor so thick, they demand an entirely different category of vehicles to counter them. Tank destroyers. These are specialized tank hunters that have no conventional design, aside from one common feature: the largest gun they can possibly mount and fire, without being ripped off from the recoil.
Seriously?
And finally, we have my favorite class in the game. SPGs. SPGs, or self-propelled guns, are mobile artillery pieces. Appropriately, you don't fire them like a tank. You press shift, you line up your shot, and turn the entire game into a third-person bombing sim.
The only score that
I'm not gonna lie, one of these days YouTube is gonna come across some new updated terms and service, and every single video of Seth is gonna get, I guess, redline or blocked or whatever. Because I've never come across any other channel that pushes the boundary as he does.
I love it. I cannot express to you how satisfying it is to play artillery. Maybe a piece of Yugoslavia lives inside me. Maybe, in a past life, I was a mortar shell aimed at Croatians. In my humble, yet correct opinion, this game is a lot more tactical than War Thunder. There's no respawns, there's no kill streaks, and you can't just pay money to deploy the same tank again. Of course, those are gripes of arcade, but that's the most popular mode. Over here, the population of players is always healthy, because guess what? It's a single queue. I would describe each match like a single round of CSGO. Anything can happen. All deaths are permanent.
Alright, what the fuck, man? I know it's supposed to be like that, but this is ridiculous. What the fuck is this? Wait a minute, did Seth modify this, or is this real, those tank destroyers that he was talking about? Because I get it, the big cannon, but this is just ridiculous. This cannot be operational, man.
Can happen. All deaths are permanent, and I can never tell if someone's really good or using an aimbot.
Seriously.
Recently, I had a match where we completely decimated. 15 kills, no deaths. Complete and total victory. When the odds are equal, the difference is teamwork and coordination. The community is generally really nice. Everybody communicates, gives advice, and I've even had people randomly message me after a fight to tell me that I did a good job. That's insane. And then I realized
good job.
That's because this press account is for North America. Do you know what Europe is like? America, they actually communicate. In Europe,
Well, I'm gonna assume since this video is still up, my video is not gonna get blocked, but I'm not so sure anymore. I guess I'm gonna have to put up to review and
of like every Balkan language ever spoken to insult one another. Now, if this game is primarily played by Eastern Euros, why is it so popular in America? Because every man named Maciek, Wojciech, and Kamil have already immigrated to the United States. They all work in construction, and much like Witcher 3, you can audibly hear as you pass them by. So if you have a choice, I strongly encourage you, please play the US
and also
servers
farting
instead.
noises.
Here you go, Mr. President. God bless Israel for the big America.
Of course, it is perfectly fine and still really fun to play on European servers. And I do have my OG account there since like a decade ago, so I'm a little sentimental. And to honor this video, I will, for the first time in history, purchase microtransactions using my Wells Fargo $20 checking account. I have bought a premium engine exhaust. Let's see how I perform. In summary, war is hell. Also, there may be something different about my tanks. One of these is not like the others. One of these, seen from an outside perspective, evokes a singular feeling. Disgust. See, this is how it used to be. See those men fighting the good fight? That's my grandfather. Did you know that in times of war, men can lactate? As you may have noticed, this game is incredibly modeled.
There'll be some man that's gonna lactate, that's for damn sure. Yeah, some people in the war rooms, yeah. Well, can you imagine if somebody just walked on tanks, right?
Could be
in World War II, right, when the camouflage and everything was just important. Imagine some crazy guy, literally, putting flames or even this kind of a fucked up graffiti on the tank and just attacking everybody. I bet everybody would just aim for that. Like, I don't care what I do, I'm going to destroy that tank first.
From replacing the UI to changing your damage indicators to adding custom sound effects.
Man, it doesn't matter if you're 15, my nigga. I like young girls. I like them 15, 14, 16.
To plastering scantily clad anime girls all over your tanks. Custom content really elevates this game from good to why would I play anything else? The answer to which is I do, but at the same time, check me out. My damage be doing numbers. All good things aside, this game has become quite massive over time, and all those assets take a while to load, so while a hard drive will still work, I benefit greatly from putting this on an SSD. Critique. This game has a general chat. This consists of people accusing each other of being Kremlin bots, old boomers talking about the good old days, and schizophrenics telling me that they are the chosen of Babylon. I wish that general chat could work in game, because that shit's hilarious. Like, I don't want to queue into a game because I don't know what I'm gonna miss.
And we also need to legalize UFO trips for the white boys to Agartha. We need to legalize alien lean.
Also, repair
God.
kits aside, the very concept of a medical kit is absolutely ridiculous.
The gunner is dead. We're trying to cover for him.
Alright, that Trump thing, obviously he just cut off certain clips and made it that, but the recent AI jump is making me think that, that people used to be afraid, like because of deep fake and even the AI technology that can mimic voices. You can never know who said what and if it's real or not. That is approaching way too close than I originally thought, I guess. Recent AI jump that we've been seeing, GPT, whatever that was, right? Where AI can answer, AI can do everything. It even took a law exam and did fine. AI eventually is going to mimic a voice and say anything with it. So people will be able to use then literally say things in Trump voice or any other voice, say anything. And obviously deepfake already exists. So somebody can create a genuine video which is made by deepfake and AI voice. And there you go. After that, nobody can prove anything using audio or video. Because you can always say, that's not me, that's just, some CGI and whatever. That's not, and AI will become so good that no expert will be able to, differentiate. Because if AI can generate a perfect voice, how can you really know if that's an AI or an actual person said it? So that whole thing, right, where video evidence, audio evidence, that's all. People are like, oh, look at that, there are cameras everywhere. The world is getting more and more digital. Everything's recorded. But yeah, that's just for short term. After that, all of that is going to be thrown aside because nobody can really know what is what. Everything will be questioned, like, is that real, is that fake?
Question, what is inside that kit? Do you just give him 10 tabs of Pervitin? Also, there's no friendly fire in this game, which, to be honest, I completely understand. But that doesn't mean you can't aggressively ram your teammates to assert your dominance. When they give up and start reversing into you, that's when you know their resolve has been crushed. In truth, I don't really have any complaints. This game deserves its success. I would not have been able to mod the game as much as I did, or port over all those anime skins from 100 versions ago, if not for the efforts of certain individuals and the help of this community. So, genuinely, thank you. This game could be summarized as peek out from behind a corner, shoot your load, and retreat into darkness. But mechanically, there's a lot more to it. And if you're interested, I'm legally obligated to say this. Sign up today using my invite link in the description box below. If you're a new player, you'll get 250,000 credits, the Tier 5 Excelsior, 7 days of World of Tanks Premium, and you also get to rent the Tiger 131, the Cromwell B, and the T-3485M for 10 battles each. As always, more content to come, so stay tuned. I love my sponsors because they help me get that bread, which is my only chance at surviving the Kali Yuga. I never mentioned this, but it's my sincerest hope that they don't actually watch this video, or they may discover that I've attached my phone number to the press account, so once they take it away, I can steal it back using password recovery. I don't see this as morally dubious, but rather as an extension of my permanent free trial. A warm thanks to the many members of the Merchants Guild generously funding and bankrolling these videos. You're all truly wonderful. Anyway,
Let's
I'm
be
gonna start playing
honest,
with
Seth deserves his lifetime pass or whatever, right? Because I get it, War of Tanks is one of those games that has been sponsoring all the major channels there is, from Interhistorian to, whatever, right? But still, Seth is still one of those people when it comes to gaming that will put level of eyes and level of people who are, his fan base is even committed. He puts out a video on certain games that was doing badly, suddenly is doing good now. That's how his fan base is. So Seth deserves that. The whole video is just that, right? Oh god, that was just epic. Seriously, the balls on this guy. I love it. He's just like, War of Thunder, War of Tanks, right? Who's gonna give me more money? I'm gonna do that. Like I said in the start of the video, War of Tanks, I've seen this video on the Russian Badger and many other places, what World of Tank is. But I think War Thunder is different, a bit different than, World of Tanks. World of Tanks feels like more your CSGO type of thing where you just play with tanks, have fun, blow shit up. War Thunder feels mechanically a bit more serious, right? I like how it had, obviously War of Tanks probably came before this, one of the original ones, right? The whole generation of, gaming sponsor thing, hardcore sponsor thing. World of Tank is kind of one of the original ones. War Thunder came, I guess, later, but it feels like mechanically more serious than this. I don't know. I haven't played none of that. World of Tank is from 2010. Holy shit, that's how old this is. So I've never played any of this, but yeah, War Thunder feels like more latest and mechanically better, I guess. But yeah, there you go. Alright, well, that was World of Tanks. People told me in the comments how they played the shit out of War Thunder. How many people have the same feeling about World of Tanks? Comment down, I guess. Alright, well, that was the video from SsethTzeentach. If you like my reaction, don't forget to subscribe. Check out other SsethTzeentach reactions that I've did. Well, there's a link in the description, I guess. And yeah, I'll see you next time.